So I'm back in grey Britain, as you can see. And I mean grey Britain as I look out the window. Sky is just completely grey. Not a jot of blue sky has been seen since I've returned. And as you can imagine, I'm not entirely happy about it. In fact, I've been pretty grumpy since I've got home, really. And not entirely because of the grey sky or being back in England. There's another factor at work here. Maybe not so much grumpy as frustrated. You see, I'm working on a particularly frustrating project at the moment. Well, I say frustrating. In truth, the company that I'm working for is wonderful. It's full of smart, lovely people that I really enjoy working with. And I really want to do a good job for them. And that's really where my frustration is coming from. Because I keep hitting entirely justifiable and understandable roadblocks. You see, my job is to help them improve the conversion rate on the number of people that come to the website and then sign up for a free trial of their software. The rate is low for all kinds of reasons, but one significant factor is their sign-up form, which everybody in the company agrees is painfully complicated. However, every time we sit down to discuss changing it, there's always a admittedly good reason why we can't change things. It's just so incredibly complicated, and it's going to take months of work to get to the point where any of the issues with the form can really be addressed in any significant way. Ironically, they actually see a really great conversion rate among those who do put the effort in to sign up for the free trial. Once people are on the free trial, they almost always then go on to buy. And that's partly because the hard to use form just weeds out anyone who's not entirely committed to getting the product anyway. So it's made my job hard, and it's led me to show my frustration more than I probably should have in a recent meeting. And it was really quite embarrassing, and I felt like I had to apologize afterwards, and I've been beating myself up over it ever since. Fortunately, the client is incredibly gracious and wonderful, and they appreciate my passion, which I think is a polite way of saying tone it down. But anyway, so what should we do when we're faced with those kinds of obstacles? Do we throw up our hands in the air and just give up on the whole idea? Do we get angry, and do we push harder to bring about the change? Well, there is actually a time and a place for pushing harder. But you do need to know when to quit, something that maybe I didn't realize in that last meeting. Sometimes there's a good reason for the resistance you're meeting, which is when we, as UX professionals, need to get creative. If you can't overcome an obstacle, well, it's time to work around it. Take my example. I can't change the intimidating form that users have to complete when they sign up for a free trial. So if I can't change the form, perhaps I can change the mindset of the user. Perhaps I can get the user to the point where they're committed enough to actually be willing to put the work in to fill in the form. Look, don't get me wrong, right? Changing user behavior is really, really difficult, nearly impossible, and probably just as frustrating as the problems I'm facing anyway. But if I can nurture the relationship with the website visitors until they reach a point when they're ready to act, then maybe I can encourage them to tackle the form. After all, most of the visitors that come to this particular site don't even get as far as the form. They're not really interested in a free trial because they're not at that point in their journey. They're only vaguely interested in what the company has to offer, and they're probably not ready to buy, and certainly not ready to assess the product to any great degree. They're primarily there for the free resources that the company provides. So if I can get them to sign up to a trial, perhaps I could get them to sign up to a newsletter that nurtures and maintains the relationship, offering ongoing value until I can pique their interest enough to make the effort and sign up for a free trial. Now, is the approach perfect? Absolutely not, but it is an achievable one. It doesn't involve making fundamental changes to the software or reorganizing how the sales team operates. So I guess what I'm saying is that if you can't have perfection, then something's better than nothing. It's better than giving up, and it's better than getting frustrated. Know when to pick your battles. If you meet legitimate obstacles, or to be honest, even if you meet resistance that could destroy your working relationship with colleagues or stakeholders or clients, then it's time to try an alternative approach, one that moves you closer to the ultimate goal, even if that means taking the long way round. But there's also another point that's worth making here. Not all obstacles are bad. Just because you don't immediately understand why somebody is throwing up a roadblock doesn't mean they're wrong. After all, we've got a pretty narrow view as UX professionals of the businesses that we work for. We don't see the whole picture. There's a lot of complexity behind the scenes that leads to things like, I don't know, terrible form design or horrible user experiences. Don't presume that things happen because people are ignorant or they're stupid. In fact, people often know that the solution they've currently got is not optimal. After all, that's why they're coming to you in the first place, looking for help to find a way around the problem.